I got the ski mask on and the trapper hat on, aka the Russian hat. But yeah, man, let's speak on Carmelo Anthony. And he spoke about the Denver Nuggets. He believes, he doesn't have any proof, that the Denver Nuggets gave Nikola Jokić the number 15 to erase away what he done with Denver. Now, apparently he asked to leave Denver. It's always hard feelings there. They did make the Western Conference Finals. It was people saying that he was jealous that Chauncey Billups was getting credit for them making a run to the Western Conference Finals after they traded Iverson for Billups with Detroit Pistons, right? And a lot of people were saying that he was, basically jealous that this is alleged that, Chauncey was getting so much credit. But you got to remember, too, Chauncey from the Denver area. So he was a big basketball star there. People forget Chauncey was like a top 3 pick in the draft by the Boston Celtics. He just, you got to understand Chauncey was more of a scoring guard. You see these guys like Trae Young. You see these guys like these scoring league guards, Trae Young, it's a lot of them, D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Brunson. You weren't, back in the day, it was frowned upon when you have a dynamic, league guards that could score. They wanted to turn you into a uniform true point guard, So that was kind of frowned upon, you being, that lead guard that can really score. They really minimized, those guys that really can fill it up. That was, lead guards back in the day, like Steph Curry, them guys today. They wouldn't really allow you to play like that back in the day, for real. But nonetheless, then you had Chauncey, who made the comments a couple years ago when people were saying Carmelo was getting blackballed out the league. And Chauncey said, and Chauncey said that, Carmelo kind of cared more about the stats than winning. Remember, Chauncey made those comments and Melo kind of didn't like that. But, so yeah, Melo really didn't like those didn't like any of that. But, at the same time, I felt him. I understood where he was coming from. You always heard that about Carmelo, and I'm salty Carmelo didn't become a Detroit Piston. I think that would have changed his perception. He would have been, grandfathered in a team that was a team of veterans, and I think his career would have been looked at in a different light. But he has no real proof that he has no proof that this is what Denver done. Now you gotta understand it's a different front office regime and all that in Denver right now. Do I think it's some validity to kind of what he's saying? Probably so. He said he went back, they booed him, got 40, went back, got 50 when they booed him and all that stuff. And they still booed him. Anytime you force your way out, there's got to be a healing period. You know what I'm saying? And, really, Carmelo really helped put the Nuggets back on the map. Because you think before that, like, what was there? Honestly, I think they had a really good team. I'm thinking about the Mavericks that played the Lakers in the 80s in the Western Conference Finals. So really, they don't really have a really great history. McDyess was supposed to be that dude there for a minute, and he ended up hurting his knee. People forget young McDyess was a problem. So really, he helped put the franchise on the map. But when you leave that way, it ain't no good way to leave a relationship. It really ain't. People say, just be honest with me, or this, that, and the third. You could be honest, and people still get in their feelings and still do, don't, get mad at you. So it really ain't no great way to break up. Some guys, just tend to break up, just want to get caught cheating and want her to leave, because they ask her to leave, she might be tripping, Some females, they want to get caught cheating, or, they do things to get on your nerves so you can cause the breakup. So even with businesses and organizations, I done seen or heard of organizations not giving people pay raises, not giving people promotions, and hoping that they quit. You know what I'm saying? And doing it on purpose rather than letting you go when they can't find a reason to let you go. So, but he says that he has no proof that's what they did, what he believed they're trying to minimize, and they gave the Joker Jokić the number 15. He's going off on the outside looking in. He has no inside information on this. And he says that, Jokić is one of those guys that probably just pick a jersey and play. And he said they think they deliberately gave him the 15 jersey. But my thing is, I think he wore 15 the whole time. So I don't think they knew he was going to be that good. And Carmelo acknowledged, like, some people thought Nurkic was the better guy and they should keep Nurkic and trade Jokić, but they knew something different. Kept Jokić, traded Nurkic, and, like I said, it's a lot of assumption here. Because, they couldn't have known he was going to be that good if he had the number 15 from the beginning. Now, if he changed to 15, then that's a different story. But if he had the number 15 from the beginning, they didn't know he was going to be that good. They wouldn't have picked him in the second round. So I think he just bugging, and I think he brought this up, and Gilbert Arenas brought this up in another interview, and I think I've heard Carmelo bring this up, how NBA franchises don't honor their past legends or guys who helped build the franchise and make them dividends for the franchise. Remember Carmelo was like, why ain't Patrick Ewing coaching for the Knicks? And, why this guy ain't over here? Gilbert Arenas says that the NBA don't really, treat their past players per organization the way they should be. And that's a problem in Detroit. That's why Joe Dumars got mad at the Tom Gores, the owner, because he really don't show no homage to the former Bad Boys or the former Pistons that came before them. So at the end of the day, I definitely agree to what he's saying. These organizations try to, they use you, they make the money off of you, and then at the end of the day, they don't pay no homage. They might have our all 50 team or the team that made it this far, but they don't really be trying to put money in these guys' pockets. They don't be trying to do business ventures with these dudes, or they don't be trying to bring them back into the organization and groom them to be GMs and coaches and all that. They don't do that. That he's correct about. They want to minimize, Carmelo Anthony in the way he left. You asked to leave, you asked to go to New York. They felt slighted by it. But you got to understand, when the organization ain't getting it done around you, I mean, what y'all want to wait till the man all broke down and can't run up and down the floor to leave? You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't Isaiah Thomas. Everybody ain't John Stockton. Everybody ain't Reggie Miller. So at the end of the day, you hope that he will get that solace and he'll get that healing period where, Denver and him is able to come together. But I think saying they gave him the number 15, not knowing what he was going to be, if he had 15 Jokić the whole time, I think that's a little bit extreme, But really, he got the 15 number. He doing numbers, jumping out the gym. I mean, and, he just doing numbers. And now, he run an organization. He won 2 MVPs. He's probably the greatest Denver Nugget of all time. Carmelo's still one of the greatest Denver Nuggets of all time. But what he's done there, it's probably a little bit of saltiness by Carmelo Anthony. But I don't think unless he changed his number to 15, I don't think they didn't know that he was going to be there. And the whole thing was, he said his number 15 should be retired. And that's up to Denver Nuggets fans to say. I mean, like I said, I don't remember the Denver Nuggets being good before I know McDyess had them on the rise for a minute. I could be forgetting an era or two. But, I mean, should his number be retired in Denver? I mean, he scored a bunch of buckets, made them a bunch of money, made them relevant. Just on the outside looking in, I say, yeah, they should pay homage to Carmelo Anthony. He got to be one of their top 5 Denver Nuggets of all time. And I'm just thinking off the humbug. I don't know too much about their team history, so I could be wrong. But, yeah. But at the end of the day, his number should be retired. And Jokić probably should, But, he still was an active player. So, so it was hard to retire active player, jersey. And if they gave him 15, knowing he would turn out to be what he turned out, I think they probably would have took him in the first round if they knew what he was going to be. But, I think Carmelo a little bit salty for the franchise that he really did a lot of his work and probably his best work and won the most with. They're not celebrating him and bringing him back in the fold and putting him on a pedestal because he requested a trade. And that hurt. That hurts. You didn't get a championship. You're not celebrated by the Nuggets. Didn't win nothing in New York. I mean, where is he gonna go where he celebrated at? it would have to be Denver, you know, and I think they should, you know, retire and celebrate him, but you know, that's gonna be a tough sell because he left. I mean, a lot of, you know, people leave their situations. A lot of people got KG had to leave. You know what I'm saying? And I think we'll get to that point, people understand. But you know, Lou Alcindor left, you know, Milwaukee. No, LeBron left Cleveland, left Miami, went to Cleveland, left LA. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it is what it is. It don't stop people from saying Carmelo shouldn't be, you know, LeBron shouldn't be celebrated, at least in Cleveland. But hey, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the NBA Talk playlist. Find me everywhere in the link tree. That's in the description. Peace.